Welcome to How, What, Why, where we put health, wealth, and happiness in perspective. Let's dive in. Imagine you just got a massive pay raise at work. You're excited, maybe even dreaming of that designer shopping spree or new luxury clothes. But then, after spending your extra pay on the dream life, you realize you're not any happier than before. We've all been there. The raise comes, we treat ourselves, but the happiness fades. Sounds strange, right? Here's a surprising truth. Our brains are actually wired for a very different world, a world of scarcity. Back in hunter-gatherer days, our survival depended on finding enough food, shelter, and safety. So the brain developed to focus on what was missing, what was scarce. That's why luxury items, like designer clothes or rare possessions, trigger a strong desire. Because they're scarce and signal status, our brains light up when we get them. But today, we live in a world overwhelmed by choices and things. Yet that old wiring hasn't caught up. Our brains still scan for scarcity, making us crave more, even when we already have enough. That's why we often buy things we don't really need, chasing a sense of worth or happiness that stays just out of reach. Scientists call this a mismatch, our ancient brain wired for scarcity, trying to survive in a world of abundance. So, luxury feels special partly because it's scarce, not just in supply, but because many can't afford it, which creates a powerful psychological pull. This constant feeling of not enough can leave us stuck on a treadmill of wanting, always chasing the next upgrade. And no matter how much we get, our happiness levels don't rise in the long run. That's the core of the income happiness plateau. But don't worry, there is a way to rewire the brain, to appreciate sufficiency, to feel content with having enough. It's called gratitude. Gratitude retrains your brain to focus on what you have rather than what you lack. It calms that ancient scarcity alarm, bringing more peace and joy. Let's get back to the pay raise scenario. Psychologists have proven beyond a certain income, our happiness barely changes. In some cases, it even drops. Most of us grow up believing that being rich is the ultimate goal. We chase bigger salaries, dream of financial freedom, and hope money will fix everything. But here's the twist. Many high earners still feel trapped in routines, stressed and unfulfilled. Take Sarah, a corporate lawyer earning 6 figures. She drives a luxury car, goes on designer shopping sprees, lives in a stylish apartment, and still wakes up every Monday, dreading the week. Because money can upgrade your lifestyle, but not how you feel inside. Let's look at a key study from Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman and economist Angus Deaton. They found that emotional well-being rises with income, but only up to about $75,000 a year. After that, day-to-day happiness barely moves. It's called the income happiness plateau. Money gives us comfort, but not contentment. Why? Because money solves external problems, like bills, stress, and survival. But it doesn't touch internal struggles, like purpose, loneliness, or self-worth. As Morgan Housel puts it in The Psychology of Money, our mindset around wealth often matters more than the amount itself. If you're curious about the book, I've dropped a link in the description. It's a fascinating read. One key idea from the book is the hedonic treadmill. You work hard, land the promotion, buy the nicer clothes or latest gadgets, and at first, it's exciting. But quickly, your brain adapts. That new clothes feeling? It fades. Soon, it's your new normal. And then, you compare it to others. They have the latest designer bags or fancy gadgets. Now your upgrade doesn't feel as special. Even worse, high-income jobs often mean longer hours, more pressure, and less time for what really matters. Money is amazing when it meets basic needs: rent, food, health, safety. But after that, the happiness boost gets smaller and smaller. So, what can we do instead? First, shift your definition of wealth. Think of wealth as freedom of time, not just cash. Would you rather have $1 million in the bank but be stuck in a job you hate? Or make less and spend your days doing work you love? Second, Invest in experiences, not things. Research by Dr. Thomas Gilovich at Cornell University shows that memories and relationships bring more lasting joy than material purchases. Why? Because memories can last, but shoes, they wear out fast. That road trip will stay with you long after your old iPhone is forgotten. So, walk with a friend. Help someone move. Try painting even if you're bad at it. That's real wealth too. Third, practice gratitude. It rewires your brain to focus on what you do have instead of what's missing. Being grateful calms the brain, which is wired to survive rather than feel content. And finally, set goals that money can't measure. Kindness, creativity, resilience. These shape your inner life, your identity, your joy. And that's the part money can't buy. But it's where real happiness lives. So, in the end, meaning and connection turn out to be the real sources of happiness. And the good news? You can build both through small daily habits. Want to go deeper? Next time, we'll explore how simple mindset shifts can rewire your brain for joy. Whether you're wealthy, comfortable, or just getting by, please hit like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for more. Thanks to those who already have. Know someone who'd like to hear this? Please, share it. What's your take? I genuinely love to hear your story. Stay subscribed to How, What, Why for our next video, How to Train Your Brain for Joy, the Gratitude Loop, next on the channel.